Hey, welcome to the Joy of Yoga. Today we're going to be talking about the 10 best gift items you can give to the yogi in your life. The number one gift that I think is the most important to have in a good yoga practice is a good yoga mat. A lot of people buy these like $15 yoga mats from like Ross or Target or something, and they just really struggle in their practice. They're slipping, they're sliding, you're really having to grip and kind of struggle through a lot of your poses. So when you get a really good yoga mat, that takes all of that away, and it makes it so much easier to be in your poses and to practice your flows. My favorite, they're not even sponsoring me to say this, is Sacred Yoga mats. They have different thicknesses and lengths and widths and really beautiful colors. Plus their mats feature really amazing designs that have like the 4 elements of the earth and also alignment markings. So it's really easy to know where to place your knees and things like that. Sacred Yoga, again, is wonderful. It's all organic and made with sustainable materials. They are my all-time favorite, and if you notice that the yogi in your life doesn't have a good mat, I would definitely recommend starting there. You can find the link to these products in the description below. Next, what I think is really important is a good strap. A lot of people might not use props in their practice, but I think props don't hinder. They actually help your practice. They help you to go deeper and more safely. And I used to use just a plain canvas strap, just a single, simple thing. And I was always finding that my hands would start to hurt because I was like gripping onto the strap while trying to, hold a pose or something. So when my father-in-law gifted me this strap, I fell in love. This was so amazing because it actually has the loops in it. And since it has the loops, I can loop, say, my foot through one and then my hands through the others. And then that way I can even just kind of rest my arms and my hands into a pose versus having to like clench and hold on tight. So this is my all-time favorite yoga strap to use. And it's just really great to have for if you're trying to practice your back bends or dancer pose, trying to bring your head to your foot, or if you're trying to stretch your hamstrings more, things like that. This is just a really awesome product to have. And then I would say the third most important thing is to have some good blocks. Just like the strap, the blocks really help you to get into your practice, into a pose more safely and more deeply. I've injured myself not using blocks and just trying to drop into things and would have to hold off on that for a really long time and would be set back in my practice. So when I got some good blocks, that really helped to elevate my practice so much more. You can find foam blocks, which they're a lot lighter. So I'd say foam blocks are better for more advanced yogis who aren't relying so much on the sturdiness of a cork block. They are practicing more getting into their own balance and trusting their own body in poses. The foam blocks are really great to have. If you're starting out or you practice a lot of like restorative yoga, these heavy cork blocks are great to prop under, say, bolsters and things like that, so you can create really awesome supports, whereas the foam block would just fall over when you lay against it. The cork block really holds its weight and stays put, so you can feel really secure, completely resting back into like a reclining Baddha Konasana or something like that. Or again, if you're a beginner and you're really struggling in a lot of those balance poses, like half moon pose or something, then the cork block will really stay stable and you can really press into it and even wobble a little bit and it'll stay in place and it'll totally have your back. Fourth, I would say my online yoga course would be a great gift to give the yogi in your life. The live and first run of it will be starting January 4th. So it's a great thing to give if somebody has yoga as their resolution for the year. This will be really awesome because we're going to be covering everything it takes to build your own sequence, or if they're a yoga instructor, to help them build sequences for their classes based on the needs of themselves or those in the room. And they'll be able to do it on the spot, not having to rely on pre-planning and memorizing and sticking to this flow. They'll be able to be really present in the class, or if you're just not a yoga instructor, you'll be able to be really present with yourself and just kind of go with the flow of how you're feeling and intuitively know which poses to practice next and why. I'll even teach you how to build flows and sequences based on time restraints or specific needs, like you have tight neck and shoulders, or you didn't sleep well, or you want more energy, things like that. It's going to be an all-encompassing course, and again, great for non-teachers or teachers alike, and it starts January 4th. So again, details are in the description below. Moving on, I love, as you can see, massage guns. I think massage guns are so amazing and they help my practice so much. So if I ever feel really sore or tight or I've injured something, massage guns are a great way to help work out those knots, and as well as open up your fascia. Your fascia is this meshy layer that covers our entire body and is actually 90% responsible for all chronic pains in people's bodies. If we get injured or if we sit too long, it can start to harden and get knotted up, almost like cartilage, like what our nose is made out of. So it's important to break that up so that way things can move freely again, and you'll actually find that you gain more flexibility faster. So my favorite brands are the Theragun and Bob and Brad. I love Theragun because it is ultra powerful. It's not super heavy. Granted, it is heavier than the Bob and Brad's, but I also love the triangle design of the Theragun because it's really easy to just grip the different sides and be able to get your back or your neck or your shoulders really easily, your low back, your hips, your glutes, all by yourself and not really need help. And again, it's super powerful. So if you have somebody that's a little bit thicker or they practice a lot of weightlifting, things like that on top of their yoga practice, this is really awesome for them. Now the Bob and Brad guns, they're really light. I would say obviously not as powerful as the Theragun, but they still get the job done, especially the more medium size here. Once you kind of go up the levels, it can definitely produce a good amount of power. And all these guns come with different massage heads, most specifically the soft kind of hollow massage head, which I have found to be my most favorite. And I really don't switch to any of the others because it's really absorbent and it isn't like super painful just pounding into your muscle. But again, they have different ones depending on what your needs are. Then the Bob and Brad Mini. I love this thing because it's super little, ultra light, can pack in your suitcase or even your yoga mat bag, and you can just take with you on the go anywhere. And it still packs a good punch. It gets the job done. If you're traveling a lot, you need to get your shoulders, anything like that, or specific pain points, or just overall needing to relax your muscles and work out that fascia. The Mini is really awesome for traveling. Next, 6 is some good bolsters, especially these big heavy ones. If someone likes to practice yin yoga or restorative yoga, these bigger, heavier bolsters are really crucial to have in a good practice. You can do all sorts of things with them. You can lay against them. They can help support you in things like child's pose, or even help prop your hips in pigeon pose if you're not able to quite work your hips down yet. I just love all the different kinds of uses that these bigger bolsters have. You can even like rest your forehead on it and it'll stay so strong and support your spine if you're not able to completely fold forward in a seated forward folding posture, things like that. So I love big bolsters, and as well as the thin ones and the smaller ones, they definitely have their place, but bolsters are just really crucial to have in a good practice. Now, 7th is a good yoga mat bag. So especially if you're going to classes, or again, if you travel a lot, I take my yoga mat with me when I'm traveling on the plane. I roll it out in the terminal. Even one time we stopped on the tarmac. I literally rolled my mat out on the tarmac with the plane behind me. It was stretching. I just think it's so important to be able to take your yoga mat everywhere you go, and it'll help promote you to keep stretching while you're traveling. So I love Warrior 2 yoga bag because it has so many different kinds of pockets. It's completely adjustable in its strap, and you can even switch which side the strap goes to. So if you prefer it on your left shoulder or your right shoulder, you have that option. And then great big pockets in the front, as well as side pockets for things like water and whatnot. This fits my nice thick yoga mat from Sacred, as well as my thin one. And then I even will put my Theragun or my mini Bob and Brad in there, plus my wallet, my keys, my phone. And it has everything I need and my water bottle, so then when I'm just traversing the city for the day or I'm traveling somewhere, I have everything really easy and accessible. And this also comes in different colors, so it's good for the men and women, the yogis and the yoginis in your life. Then a yoga wheel. This is super fun, and it's a little bit weird at first because, obviously it's not something that people are used to having in their practice. But if you have a playful yogi in your life, someone who likes to just experiment and move around and try new things, then the yoga wheel is super awesome to have. They have different kinds, some made out of cork, wood, all sorts of things like that. You can practice your headstands with it, help with your back bends, all sorts of fun poses. And it's just a really great way to kind of spice up your yoga practice and make it more fun. Now, number 9 would be some sort of crystals for their yoga space, or even little mini crystals and stones so they can keep in their bag or have on their mat while they practice. It'll help bring in the focus of whatever their intention is for their flow for that day. And if they have their own yoga space in their home, this just helps to add more peaceful elements and help, again, bring their intention into their space, and just makes it nicer to practice in and be around, as every crystal and stone carries different energies. You can find all sorts of them anywhere, but again, feel free to check out the links that I have in the description below. Then lastly, statues. So you can do things like the Buddha or Ganesha. Different statues, again, have different meanings and energies behind them. So if you have a yogi who you might think needs to break through some barriers, you can give them a statue of Lord Ganesha. Or if they're just trying to bring more spirituality into their life and be more one with everything, you can give them a Buddha. And again, that'll just help to remind them and bring their focus back to their intention and make their space that much more enjoyable and pleasurable to practice in. So these are my 10 favorite and I think most important things to have as a yogi. So when you're looking to give your yogi friend, loved one, or relative a gift, or maybe a bundle, you can always put together a few things like a mat in a bag with some crystals and a mini massage gun and a strap. So when they open it, it's almost like a gift basket. It's just really nice to have all these things when you practice and to learn to practice with and to grow more. Please let me know if you have any comments or questions. What are your favorite products to use? What has been your favorite gift that someone has given you as a yogi? Also, again, please be sure to look out for my yoga program, which is starting January 4th. You can discover more on my website, joyscola.com. Hope you have a beautiful day. Love and light. Namaste.